And here we go. Welcome to episode 11 of The Huddle. I'm your host, Ed Tait from BlueBombers.com. We'd be pleased to be joined this week by Kenny Lawler, the receiver of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. This is our newish Blue Bombers show on the Blue Bombers YouTube page every Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell, as they tell me to say every week. Okay, so before we get to Kenny, we've got some good stuff coming up with Kenny. We're going to start with part one, which is the Coors Light Chill Chat. We have a sponsor for this now. So this is a chance for fans to get to know a little bit about this week's guest, Kenny Lawler. It's brought to you by Coors Light, the official beer of the Blue Bombers. And we have a message from our sponsor.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light, the chill choice.
Appreciate you, Kenny, for joining me.
No
This is
problem,
really
brother.
cool. Really cool. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. The Coors Light Chill Chat. So here's some our usual questions here to
Let's
kind
do
of
it.
get
Let's
you
do
to
it.
relax a little bit.
Woosah.
Okay, so the first question, this is our weekly poll question. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Hot dog is not a sandwich. Hot dog is its own thing. It is one of a kind. It is, oh man, I don't know, but it's not a sandwich.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Listen, I gotta read a text because Chris, Stats Junkie, who's helped us all the time with stats, me and my stories in the years past, he sent me this really cool thing today. He says, I can't show this on camera very effectively, Josh. Sorry. According to the cube rule of food, a hot dog qualifies as a taco. And he's got these cubes here, and because the hot dog bun is like that, it qualifies as a taco. So that's a whole new, this is getting really scientific now for our poll. But I'm with you on it's not a sandwich.
I'd put it under a taco more than a sandwich, but sandwich, come on. Man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that's far.
Last week, Jake Thomas had another little kind of asterisk. He said if you take a hot dog and put it between two pieces of bread, then it's a sandwich.
That's right there. See,
Yeah.
you don't use a hot dog. Now, if you was going to do that, you'll do a hot link. Back home, we got something called hot link. It's like kind of like a spiced up, a little, how we say it, chunkier hot dog.
Okay.
With a lot of spice and heat to it. You put it on the grill, get it nice charred up, and then you throw it in between some sandwich bread. Yeah, now you got a hot link sandwich.
Okay, see, we could be doing a whole food show here with the stuff we've
Really
got so
could.
far on this.
We
Okay.
really could.
All right, so let's rattle off a couple other ones here, Kenny.
Let's do it.
Who was your childhood sporting hero?
Childhood sporting heroes. Oh man. To be honest, my dad's a coach, right?
Yeah.
And he coached junior college, and that is right below, Division I, sports. In 4 years, you go to junior college for 2 years. And growing up, I was around so many, junior college athletes that I really caught a lot of motivation and inspiration from how hard those guys worked. I was around those guys since I was like 2, 3 years old on the field running around. And when it came to football, that was like what I seen first. I didn't know, when I first started football, I didn't really know much about professional football, NFL, the USC Trojans and all of that, college. What I did know was the Mount Sac Mounties. And
That's where your dad was coaching.
That's where my dad coached. And all those guys, there was a guy named Delaney Walker who came through the program, Chris McAllister. And to be honest, if I was going to say my childhood
Yeah.
athlete or whaver,
Yeah.
it would be Antonio Pierce, because he went to two bounce sack, and my dad coached him on the defense. And he used to come back every year, do a lot of camps, similar to what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And that was the first camp I went to that was a professional athlete. And I knew him prior to that camp, but that was actually one of the guys that the first NFL athlete that I knew. And I got a lot of motivation and inspiration through his story and how he made it into the league. So that would be it, Antonio Pierce.
That's really cool. I'll talk to you about your dad in a little bit, because I mean he was at Oregon as a player, right?
Yeah, he sure was. He sure was.
Okay, so do you golf?
Oh man, I'm a horrible golfer.
But so this is one of the questions. We can change the wording here, but it's the same thing. If you're golfing, pick 3 people, alive and dead, history, anything that you would want to round out your foursome with, or just like 3 other people you'd like to have, beers or dinner with or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I already know the first one. The first one that I'll do is Kobe Bryant. You check the shirt right here. If you guys don't know, today is my birthday. And
happy birthday.
Thank you. I wanted to honor,
Nice.
the 30 years of just me being on this earth, a lot of hard work and, dedication going into this sport. And one of my favorite athletes is Kobe Bryant. The Mamba mentality is something that I live by, that I try to go after and grasp in within my workouts, when I'm on the football field, when it's just mental preparation, film preparation. It's just having that Mamba mentality within everything. But the second person I'll go with would be oh man, now we getting there.
Kobe was easy for you.
Kobe was easy, but we're gonna turn this thing into a golf round of the champions. And so I'd put Michael Jordan in there.
Nice.
I want to golf against, high caliber greats, athletes. And we got to throw a football guy in there, obviously. So my guy that I would want to golf against or with would be, there's so many football greats. You said only 3, right?
Well, you can. Hey, I'm not.
All right. Well, 3. We'll just do 3. Just do 3. It'd have to be a toss-up between Randy Moss and Ray Lewis.
Wow.
Yeah. It would be Randy Moss and Ray Lewis. And maybe I should leave maybe Michael Jordan now because I'm a football guy.
No.
So,
you know what? I think
Kobe Bryant ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Kobe,
right. He's locked in.
We resurrecting Kobe, man. He's coming to get this round of golf. But, Ray Lewis and
we can
Randy Moss.
make a 5-some. Look, we'll let you go out with 5 guys.
Let's do it then. Let's do it.
Ray Lewis and Randy Moss, man, those are 2 legends right there, too.
Yeah.
As a receiver, Randy Moss, is that just the guy?
That was the guy growing up, man. If you was to make a play at receiver, a spectacular catch, it was you got bossed, right?
That's right.
Growing up, if you was to make a nice little basket, right? Kobe, you know what I mean? Excuse my my jump shot. It ain't look too good right now. But, man, so definitely got to have those 2 guys in there. But growing up, Randy Moss was one of my guys.
Here's a different one that I haven't tried out yet. Next week, the Summer Olympics start, right? Or next month, the Summer Olympics start. So a question, if you weren't playing football but you could participate in the Olympics, what sport would you pick?
What event?
What event, yeah.
Or a sport, because Olympic is...
you can play a team sport, right? You could, but...
that's a good one. What sport would I do? What would I be good at? I wish I could say track. There's tons of people.
You can say whatever you want, man. I would pick the mile.
I'm being realistic.
Okay.
The mile, definitely not.
No, just it's a cool historic
cool
event.
Thing. I'd love to play in the World Cup.
Okay.
World Cup.
So soccer would be,
If you don't know, I'm half African American, half Mexican as well. And growing up, I played some soccer. It wasn't organized. It was always in school.
Yeah.
And I was pretty nice in some soccer, man. I think it's in my heritage or roots or something. But I could kick that ball pretty nice. Not a football, a soccer ball. And football I can't kick. We leave that to Sergio and Jammer. Yeah. But it's soccer. Okay. World Cup.
Yeah, the soccer that would be awesome.
That'd be dope.
Okay, so You've been in Winnipeg for a while.
Yes, sir.
And you live here year round
Yes,
now.
sir.
How do you, I mean, first of all, as a California guy, you must get people saying, why are you staying
I
there?
get it every time. Like, where are you from? Los Angeles? Why are you here in the winter?
Yeah.
And I tell people, like, the God honest truth is this: I love it up here.
Yeah.
And they're like, you don't love California weather? I really do love it up here. The community is great. The school is great with my son. And it's just become my new home.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
on. So how is that? The question would be, how do you describe Winnipeg to people back home? So those people are saying, what are you doing? What do you, besides the school and,
Well, there's a lot of outdoor stuff. Like I did ice fishing for the first time. It was dope. What else did we do? We did.
oh, we got a special something coming in here.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Well, this probably had to come from the Winnipeg organization, so I want to thank all my family, all my brothers, everyone here. Thank you for this great, awesome cake you guys baked.
Look at that.
Or bought.
I would vote for number 2 there. I don't
No.
think anybody baked it, but yeah.
Yeah, let me make this wish real quick.
Okay. Nicely done. Got the numbers right and everything.
Hey, I know. I thought it was 29. I was gonna be like, oh, he came in here with a 29. Like, I'm 30. And then I seen the 8. I was like, okay, let's go.
Well done.
Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah, happy
Thank you.
birthday again.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. You were talking about, I mean, that's a nice introduction, a nice interruption, I should say. Yeah, you're talking about ice fishing and how it would
Oh
go.
yeah, ice fishing. What do they call it? Tobogganing. Just even fishing in the summer is nice and beautiful. You do a lot of outdoorsy stuff. Got around to getting on some, some outdoors motocross stuff.
Yeah.
That's nice. Can't go too hard though. Don't want to,
No.
get in a little accident or anything like that. But like all that types of stuff that you wouldn't do in Los Angeles, that's what you want to do here, in Winnipeg, man. And it's just a different experience. Like back home, I tell my wife all the time, we've experienced back home so many times. We grew up there. It's here it offers so much more that we haven't experienced. It's eye-opening, it's new, and that's another reason why we stay here. Like back home, so much to deal with. Obviously the US is different, Los Angeles is different, but here is just such a family oriented vibe within the community, which I love so much. And man, yeah,
That's a good answer.
No,
That's
thank
cool
you.
to say. Do you what's your favorite TV show or something you might be binge watching right now?
right now, me and my wife, we watched a couple nights ago The House of Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that just came out.
Yeah.
Fire, fire. Another one.
I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now just to remind myself for House
Game
of
of Thrones is great. So I actually watched House of Dragons first.
Oh, okay.
Before I watched the Game of Thrones, and the Game of Thrones got me into. Oh no, House of Dragon got me into Game of Thrones, and I guess it was actually the right way to watch it too.
Probably,
they were saying,
it's a
right?
prequel, yeah.
So I binged watched probably the whole Game of Thrones in probably like a month.
Really?
Like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's a crazy show.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Just one more.
Just in case you want to dip in for a little snack halfway through the show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
This really has become a food show.
I know,
It
man.
really has.
It really-
So one more. Which guy in the locker room, or which guys in the locker room, make you laugh the most, or are
Make
the
me laugh
most
the
fun
most.
fun to be around?
Oh man, there's so many characters in the locker room. We got guys like Haba, who's hilarious, Willie, who's hilarious. Stanley Bryant is pretty funny to me. Jake Thomas is a hilarious guy in itself. Serge, but the funniest guy would have to be Dietrich Nichols.
Really?
Oh, he's hilarious.
In what? Oh yeah. So like I know Jake likes to make fun of himself. Stanley can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard Jake was on last week. He said that Haba was kind of funny. Him and
Happy got some jokes.
Yeah. But what about Dietrich? Because he's for us on the outside, he's kind of a quiet guy.
Okay. Yeah. When you get in that locker room, it's totally different, right? Yeah, man, it's just like the jokes he says, the little subtle little jabs he takes, Sometimes it could go over your head, but if you get it, it's just like one of them, what do you call it? Like a knee slapper, it's just.
So he would be a master trash talker then, probably.
Oh, yeah, no, facts. Yeah. He's for sure gets in some guys' heads. I remember his first year up here. Oh, yeah. It's probably dumbed it down a lot. I know I've dumbed it down a lot since when I first got up.
Really,
here. Yeah, I think it's just something you do over the course of your career, your maturity, right?
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
You don't need to talk
out of material.
You don't need to talk out all the time. Man.
Okay.
Coach O'Shea says the toughest guy doesn't have to say a word. Right?
Okay, that's good advice too.
Nah.
I'm not sure if there's any questions yet, Josh, from fans, but we can.
Not yet, but that's a great reminder for everyone in chat to drop questions for Kenny. He's going to get to your questions throughout the show. So if you're hanging out in chat,
let's do it.
Make sure you drop some questions for Kenny.
Come on, chat. I'm trying to answer them all, man.
There you go. And we're going to give away a jersey too, right? We got a Kenny Lawler jersey to give away, as we do every week.
An 89 jersey, man. One of y'all going to be a lucky winner.
There you go.
Come on now.
On his 30th birthday too. It's pretty cool.
Keep forgetting.
Let's get to part 2 here, and we got to be careful how we talk about this. But I mean, let's talk about your arms in a cast right there.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing on that? How are you doing on the rehab?
Oh man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. My wife, my family keeps me sane. If I didn't have them here, I'd probably be, once I leave this place, I'd be losing it, you know what I mean? But besides that, just being here in the locker room, surrounded by the guys, the coaches, just being in the mix, even though I can't participate, keeps me going. Being able to come in and rehab keeps me going. It's just all about, for me, just always continuing to put one foot after the other, take one step, getting better every day, getting 1% better every day. That's really my mindset. That's how I've been brought up. It's just always about getting 1% better. And I've been doing some reading. My wife bought me a book for Father's Day. It's the Mamba Mentality, How to Play. And this was Kobe Bryant's last book before he passed, and it was forwarded. And
people forget he had the bad Achilles there too.
Bad Achilles, and just with that mentality that he had when he tore it, he went up, got fouled, tore it. He knew right away, and knocked down the 2 free throws, then walked off. I remember Kobe Bryant has always been my number one just athlete to just follow and just learn more about. And I broke my collarbone in Edmonton, and I knew it right away. And it was on a crazy catch.
Mm-hmm.
Secured the catch.
On the sidelines too, I think.
On the sideline, yes, sir. Secured the catch. And though I knew it was right away, I was just like, do I sit here, roll around, and wait for the people to come and get me? Or do I get up like my role model did and walk my tail off the field? And, that's kind of what I did. And, just, having little moments like that brings me, to where I'm at right now. And it's just like, I've been in so much worse places than with a broken arm. Just in life general, when I thought, I didn't have any football, anything going for me. So I just know this is just a time that is going to pass. I know God wouldn't put this problem on me if he didn't know I was going to get through it with deeper understanding and being better at the game. So, it's my problems, figure out how to get through them. And that's kind of like the mentality that I take in day out.
Yesterday, some of the media talked to Drew Wolotarski, and he's talking about what happened to Dalton and Carrick in the last game, 2 more receivers. And he said, man, I don't think from the outside we think, oh man, that's going to hurt the Bombers. Are they going to be able to score as many points, and the wins are going to be, blah, blah. And he added the kind of the human element to it, right? He hates to see a brother go down like that. And I think that's probably part of why you come back to the building as you're rehabbing, right? Because these guys keep you connected in a way. Is that right?
No, it's 100% right, man. These guys are somewhat of a lifeline for me. These guys keep me going, man. These guys, I'll give my all for any of these guys in the locker room. On the field, if I was to die on the field, it wouldn't be a better place for me to die. I really believe that because I love this game so much. I love those guys in there so much. And even though I'm out, you know, it is what it is. I know I'm going to be back. But it's such a tremendous opportunity for some of the younger guys to get in there and get their feet wet, get that experience because I believe experience is the biggest teacher for the professional football. And some of these young guys are going to get it. We need them to, you know, even though, you know, it's a bummer. We need these guys to grow too. It's a part of the game. So, you know, I'm just trying to do my best to continue to show these guys and honor these guys by my rehab, by how I help them grow within the game, the little things that I could give you from my philosophy as a receiver, what helps me be as good as I am, how can I instill that into the next young guy, how can I be accountability partner for someone that may need it. It's about doing those things right now. Those are the things that just keep me grounded day to day and just, you know, keeping me just going, just really, we talk about it all the time, honoring your teammates. And, you know, like I said in the beginning, these guys are are part of my lifeline. And I just, you know, love the guys to death and want to show them, honor them as much as I can throughout this process.
I was going to ask you a little bit about that because it's, I think Coach O'Shea said yesterday, you know, Dalton and you can impart your wisdom now to these guys. And watching you at practice today, you did all kinds of running and stuff while the practice is going on, and I can hear your voice all the time. When Ravi Olsen makes a catch, you're yelling out. When Pokey Wilson's making a catch, you're yelling out. You know, besides that kind of encouragement, are you in the room helping them? Hey, when you see this, because these guys really are 1, 2, 3 games into their CFL career. So how are you helping in terms of your experience?
And within the experience, you know, you hear the motivation on the field and everything. But when you get into the room, it's just about, you know, trying to help them figure out the picture faster. Because, you know, this game happens so fast. And, you know, there's so many different coverages. We play with an extra man than what some of these rookies are used to. So, you know, the game there's somewhat of still a learning curve. So it's how to get them over that, you know what I mean? And just through little talks or just a comment or something I see on film, I look behind and be, hey, think about it like this. Or if you see these 2 guys, this is maybe, you know, what the defense is trying to do. So that will be able to allow the younger guys to play faster because it's hard playing fast while having to think. So when we're in the room, it's about having the guys understand what we're trying to do to limit their thinking. We don't want them thinking out there. We just want them reacting and playing. And I think that's a big part of my job in trying to help them get to. When I'm in that room, you know, I'm as vocal as I am. I'm trying to, you know, help them get better in any way possible. Carrick, you know, I was right next to him and Carrick. Like when I'm in the receiving room, like, you know, I'm right next to the rookies, you know, just because if they have a question, they could turn to me, or if I see something, I could turn to them real quick.
Right.
And it's just, you know, showing the guys that, you know, you care, you love them, and really want to see them be their best.
You know, before the Ottawa game when Carrick Wheatfall made his first start, he shouted out you for how he had already learned so much from you, and we kind of got a snippet in that game in particular of his potential, right? Because he had that big long catch. There's some other guys now that we're seeing a lot this week. Tell us, I mean, a little bit about Pokey Wilson, Ontario Wilson. There's something there too, right? He's got
there's a lot there.
Yeah. And Josh Johnson too.
Josh Johnson and these guys, Mitch.
Right.
You know, Murph, young guy.
Jeremy Murphy, Myron Mitchell.
Man, you know, there's so many young guys that are going to get.
Kevin's Claircius.
It's KC, man. Let's not forget him. And, man, all these guys got something special to give to this team. They wouldn't be on this team if they didn't have nothing to give, right? So these guys are obviously some ball players. But like you said, let's start it off with Pokey, man. Pokey, amazing hands, man. He has a knack for the ball, amazing ball skills, and you guys might know it because he doesn't say much.
No, he doesn't.
But you know, when he gets his opportunity, I really believe he's gonna go and show us what he's gonna do. I always tell him, "Go get you one, Poke." because I know he's going to get him one. This dude goes in there and works. He doesn't say much, but he works. He takes the coaching. He takes what the vets tell him, and he applies it. Josh has been a guy I worked with a couple times after practice. He's just been so coachable. We know he has skill. He shows us so much. This dude could just sit a route down in just a matter of just half a second. Like it's something you want as a receiver. And with him,
Byron Mitchell too.
Oh, Byron Mitchell. I call he's sticky, man. He's just one of those guys that has that just sudden burst in and out the cuts. They all do. These guys are very polished receivers, and it's gonna be special letting them get some playing time in real meaningful games and see what they could do and how much they've learned. KC, let's not forget KC.
Big dude too.
Big, strong, physical, versatile. You will see what I mean in the game. James Murphy is just savvy. Yeah. He kind of learns from Wolotarski playing the Z position, and he's coming along. He's coming along in camp. He's making that second-year leap. And I think he's going to make some plays. And the biggest thing that these guys do, they play for one another. And that right there is going to give them over a lot of just test in the game.
Need some of those guys to step up now, right?
No, definitely. Definitely we need some guys to step up, and I know they will.
Yeah. It's a real interesting group. It's and you kind of get, sometimes this is the best way to learn, right? You get thrown into the pond and you have to sink or swim.
It's the best way.
One of the things we were asking today, Buck Pierce, the offensive coordinator, of course, played quarterback in this league for a long time. I asked him, how does a receiver gain the trust of a quarterback? So you've got these new guys that, a lot of them haven't taken a lot of reps with Zach. Yeah. So, and one of the first things he said is know your stuff, know where you're supposed to be. What would you say? How does a receiver get trust of the quarterback?
I'd say that's definitely it, because when you know your stuff, you're able to show up for your guy. If you don't know your stuff, like you say, you're out there thinking, don't know what to do. You might get a MA, which is a missed assignment, not show up in the right time. But if you know your stuff, you know where you have to be at the right time, and the quarterback throws the ball and you complete it because you were right there at the right time, the quarterback is going to gain trust from there.
Right.
And then, just showing up for your guy, being accountable, being at the right place at the right time. Buck nailed it on the head. Knowing your stuff is going to build, the trust right away with the quarterback. And then once you get that trust, sometimes the quarterback will throw a ball that he shouldn't have thrown. But, you go up there and make that catch. Oh,
it's not in a good spot, but you get it.
Anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. One of those type plays.
Yeah.
Quarterback's gonna be like, okay, I could come to him.
I like 89.
I like that guy, man. He just made a heck of a catch. Right. Double coverage or whatever. I know I could come back to him.
Yeah.
That's how you build the trust.
Yeah. Well, man, you got a good attitude. I know it's not easy when you're going through this kind of stuff. So I give you a lot of credit, Kenny, for staying connected. And like I said, watching you practice there today, could hear your voice on, almost every second, third rep, because you're still engaged. And a lot of guys just shut down, right? They don't. Sometimes you have that woe is me period for a long time. Why is this happening to me? But to your credit,
you gotta cut that out your mind right now. Yeah. Why is this happening to me? That self-pity, that
Mamba
doesn't
mentality.
That doesn't get anybody anywhere. You just gotta be like, okay, it's happened. What do we do next? Yeah. How do we get better? How do I push the envelope into trying to get back as fast as I can? That's the only thing I can do. I can't worry about the break. It happened. Yeah. Okay. What do we got to do?
Yeah.
What's one of my favorite things that Kobe ever said is what I'm living right now is that I signed a contract of what I'm about to put in, the work that has to go with just my rehab, my off-season work. That right there, whatever it is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. You got to go through it, no matter what it is. The time, what's about to come up with, get your work in.
Yep.
Get that done first.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of just.
Nobody worked harder than Kobe, man. You hear this legendary stories about getting to the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning before everybody else, and
I'm still trying to get there.
Yeah, like working out twice. Yeah,
No,
some guys he worked out twice before 8 a.m.
His thing was he knew if he sacrificed sleep, others were not willing to, that he would be able to get extra practices in. And in the course over a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and if I got, let's say, 2 to 3 more practices in a day than this guy did, I'm going to be that much better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's a great way of living.
yeah, big time. Okay, Josh, we'll go to the next chunk. We get some fan questions in and do the jersey giveaway, right?
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Sounds
So we don't
good.
have one. Usually we have one to hold up here. I'm just going to pretend it's 89.
It's
Kenny
upstairs.
Lawler.
It's in the store still.
It's in the store, man.
Okay.
It'll be signed too for you. I'll make sure to sign it.
Okay,
Beautiful,
there you go. That's
beautiful.
fantastic. So yeah, everyone that's hanging out, if you're new around here, very simple. But you do have to be able to come to the ticketing counter at the Bomber store to pick up the jersey. So that's kind of the only stipulation. We can't send it out anywhere, unfortunately. So if you have to be able to come and pick it up at the ticketing counter in the Bomber store to be able to win the Kenny Lawler jersey. So that being said, very simple to enter in the chat. Just drop Lawler in the chat. One time, putting it 100 times isn't going to make you any more likely to win. Just one time in the chat. We get that question every week. Lawler in the chat once, and there'll be a random winner selected. And while those are rolling, we're going to take a couple questions from the fans.
Let's do it.
And we got actually something here. Do you have an Uncle Ed by chance?
Do I have an Uncle Ed? I sure do.
He says, "Happy birthday, nephew," in the chat.
Hey, let's go, Unc. Hey, appreciate you, Unc. Thank you.
So that's
Where's
not
Ed?
really a question, more of a comment.
Where's Ed at? Where would he be?
Ed, it would be in Los Angeles.
Okay.
All the way from Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles.
Hey, you know what
Beautiful.
they say? 2 Eds are better than none.
2 Eds are better
Hey,
than
let's
none.
go.
So let's see what we got here. Okay, so Winnipeg Gordo wants to know, you got a favorite restaurant in the Peg? And you know what, I'm going to change it a little bit. What about a favorite restaurant to go to with your family?
Ooh, let's go. Hey, shout out Winnipeg Gordo. Man, favorite spot to go? With the family. I like to go, me and my wife like to go to Berto's Taqueria. And that is a pop-up shop in Tommy's Pizzeria from Sunday to Monday, open from 4 to 9. And I believe it's the best Mexican food in
Wow.
Winnipeg.
When you know the times that it's open and the days it's open, that's a pretty good shout out. Yeah.
We're probably every other week.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we're
Right
at
on.
Berto's. Shout out Berto's Taqueria.
There you
and
go.
Winnipeg Gordo.
Here's another one. You did actually, I should mention, you did get a ton of birthday shout outs in the chat. And this one came in and said, "Happy birthday, son." And that's from Coach Lawler. He says, "From
Coach
Pops.
Lawler. I wonder who that is.
Hashtag
man.
Mamba mentality." He
Mamba
says.
mentality. Yeah, my dad. Oh, you know, if dad is watching, to be honest, growing up, my dad knows I was a Phoenix Suns fan.
Yep.
Yeah, and I never probably shared the story with him, but my dad was a USC Trojans fans when they were, pretty good, and he was a Lakers fan, and I would always root against my dad on everything. So if he liked the Lakers
You had to
during the
pick somebody
time,
else.
is the Phoenix Suns. That was the rival. So I was a Phoenix Suns fan, during the time 2004, probably was 5. But the road or the national championship, USC, Texas. He's going for USC. I'm going for Texas. I got sent to the room on timeout because I'm going for Texas. But it's just because I wanted that competition
Sure, yeah.
and that rivalry between my dad. I'd be lying if I didn't say, growing up, I had some resentment against my dad, so that was kind of there as well. But we're over that, and our relationship is great.
Yeah.
And that's just funny and soundy. I was the biggest Kobe hater growing up because my pops, but I just couldn't.
I think sons do that all the time.
Yeah,
Either you cheer for the same team as your dad, or
you're against them, right?
Yeah,
It's
some
just
kind of
competition, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, thank you, Dad. I love you.
That's a great. All the way from your dad's in San Bernardino, right?
Yes, sir. San Bernardino.
That's
Right on.
awesome. Okay, we got our winner of the giveaway. So thanks everybody for entering. But the winner of the Kenny Lawler jersey this week is Vicky Short.
Vicky Short.
Congratulations. You won the Kenny Lawler jersey. It will be ready for pickup in the Bomber store by Friday. This Friday at the ticketing counter in the Bomber store.
Nice.
And make sure you come with your YouTube account for validation. So congratulations, Vicky. Thanks everyone for entering. Please keep putting questions in the chat for Kenny. We're gonna get back to them later because there's some awesome ones in
Yes,
here.
sir. Listen,
that we're
we got to
saving up
get
for
to
later.
him. We got to get to him.
We have a follow-up question from Coach Lawler, and he wants to know if it's better than Taco Shop.
Nah, it's not better than Taco Shop. It's not better than Taco Shop because Taco Shop, man, is authentic.
Is that L.A. somewhere?
It's in San Bernardino, right down the house, right down the street from my dad's house. And you go to the taco shop, you pulling up, you're like, yo, where am I? Like, yo, like, San Bernardino is like, I love where I come from, the Inland Empire, but San Bernardino needs some help. And man, that little strip mall that it is, it's probably like taco shop, a barber shop, and like a little liquor store, and all the other strip stores is closed down.
Oh, yeah.
But in that taco shop, the best carne asada, El Pastor, just tacos, just straight from your abuelita, just type style cooking. And also he makes me this burrito that's not even on the menu, but it's a special burrito. If you ever heard of huevos rancheros, it's a dish with corn. I like corn tortillas under it, but it's with like a rojo sauce, a red sauce over with over easy eggs, and you get rice and beans with it. He'll put that with the over easy eggs in a burrito for me.
Wow.
And then cut it, and they'll just drip the.
See, we got to get Sergio on here because Sergio, he goes on about the sauce and everything. And then when we had Jameson on about the Australian parmy, and the thing I like about so far about what you've described with the Mexican food is there's no salad involved. And as people know, I'm not a big salad guy. So that sounds good. That sounds good, man.
It's great.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's not much salad in that.
There's not. Every time I go to a Mexican restaurant, nobody's eating
No
salad.
one's eating no salad.
Okay.
No.
Are we good with the questions, or you got another one there, Josh?
We got tons of great ones,
Okay.
but we'll come back to
Okay.
them later. But I'm going to just remind everyone to drop more questions in the chat for Kenny. We're going to come back to them later. We have some great ones. We will revisit them in a bit, but for now, I'm good to move on.
Okay, so it's really cool that your uncle and your dad were in here because I wanted to. The next chunk of this conversation, I wanted to talk a little bit about the road you've traveled to get here to Winnipeg and the place that you kind of call home now too. I went back and looked a little bit. California guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Upland High School.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then you go to Cal, right? And you put up some good numbers at Cal, and then the Seattle Seahawks draft you, which is pretty cool. Maybe talk about that whole experience about the leading into the draft and then the draft and going to camp with Seattle.
Oh man, it was a great experience, man. Just totally humbled and honored to be actually, a prospect to go on into the NFL draft was just such the only thing I ever wanted to really achieve at that time in my life was to become an NFL player. Put in serious work with my dad from just if I can remember, like 5-6 years old, and just from year after year, just workouts starting to intensify, and he's getting me with different trainers, and you could really say I was bred to play this game of football. And from a very young age, but then all the hard work had paid off. In the end of my junior year, scholarships are coming in. Ended up at the end of my senior year to go play at Cal. Broke records at Cal. Had a great 3 years there with Jerry Goff, the Detroit Lions quarterback.
Amazing.
And decided to leave early and wanted to go pursue my dream of becoming an NFL player. And to be honest, if I was to redo it again, I would have stayed one more year. But I was just, my quarterback's leaving. They're saying I'm a 3rd-round draft pick. It's go time. This is what we've been working for. So you know, I could go back and get my degree. That's what everyone says, right? But you can't go back and be a draft pick or whatever it is. So it went on, and that it was just a lot of grinding, a lot of hard work. To be honest, like I didn't know how much hard work at the time. I thought I already put in the hard work, you know what I mean? And when I look back at it, I feel like as if I took in that a little bit for granted, because I felt like I could have put in more work.
Yeah.
I could have spent more time on the field. I could have spent more time in the weight room my first year because I really didn't know the business of the game, right? I got drafted that 2016 as a 7th round draft pick, and you know I was supposed to be 3rd, but I didn't do things correctly within the draft, and certain things are coming now, and you know it's just, you know, I fell to the 7th round, but still, you know, out of 260 people, I'm still able to be called a draft pick. But when I went into Seattle, it was just I had the sense of I've made it already. And I wish I would have had the mindset of this is only the beginning, because really that's really what it was. It was the beginning of my professional career, and I got to go in and take a grown man's job if I want to be able to call myself an NFL professional athlete, make the 53-man roster. And that's not where my mind was wrapped around. I was just mad. I was on practice squad the first year, and I'd make a play, maybe have one good practice a week, and just be pouting mad that I'm not playing, I'm not starting. And you know, it wasn't until my second year, did the whole year on a practice squad, they told me, you know, what we want to see you do is we want to see you gain more weight, so that can translate to the special teams. And, you know, we just want to see you get bigger. You're 6'3", but you're about 190. We want to see you 200 up there. So the next year I was like, okay, I'm not going to let them cut me for things that I can control. So you know what? I went in that camp. I was 213. I was the biggest, the fastest, the strongest that I ever been in my whole football career. Went in, killed it. The coaches knew I was working. I led the special teams, and I led special teams that preseason in tackles. You know, I just thought I made it, right? And I didn't. I didn't. And I was on the practice squad again. I'm just feeling sorry for myself. And you know, when I speak, I've been getting into speaking a lot more. And when I speak and you know, tell my stories, you know, I don't sugarcoat it. And during that time, I was in this thing called the program, and that was where, you know, I get drug tested 10 times a month. So when I was, you know, cut, I was actually on and off practice squad, but you know, when I got cut, I just got that self-pity in my head, and you know, I wasn't thinking straight. I was feeling sorry for myself, not Mamba mentality, right? And you know, I decided to have a smoke. You know, marijuana, it's legal totally, but I knew I couldn't smoke it. And 2 days later, I get a knock on my door, drug test. Doo, 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 doo. I didn't open the door. I was, you know, embarrassed, afraid, disappointed in myself, because I knew if I give them, you know, specimen, I fail. If I don't, I still fail.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I was never going to hear the call from the NFL again. And because of the decision I made, right? So, you know, like I was saying, you know, you wanted to know how that whole went up and leading up into the CFL. And that's how it went, man. I had my opportunity. I thought I achieved what they wanted me to achieve, but still got cut, and, you know, struggled with some mental health, and just being depressed, feeling like I was alone in dark places, and, you know, feeling very, very sorry for myself, and still, instead of having that mindset that I have now and wanting to go and get better. No matter, okay, I got cut. There's 31 other teams out there. Keep working, and you're going to get a shot. And I know I got calls, but I wasn't ready for those calls when I had to go and do tryouts with different teams. And, you know, I was just, you know, lying to my family. Why are you not in the NFL? What's your agent doing? I'm just like, you know, they're not messing with me. They're not. And, you know, I had to own my truth.
Right.
And when I felt like I started owning my truth, that's where I felt like, you know, God started to bless me and really, you know, take me to where I wanted to go in my football career. And I landed here in Winnipeg after a BC camp, and it was history ever since.
Yeah. You know, it sounds like you've come to grips with that, but sometimes you gotta, you know, you don't learn about stuff until you live it, right? And so I think a lot of athletes, you get to that level where you've been drafted and you think, I'm here, I've arrived. And then in a lot of ways, and Kobe knew this, because he was 18 when he turned pro, is that you're just getting started. When you get to the pro level, then you got to crank up the work on everything 100 times more, right?
You do.
There's nothing promised.
You know, because when I was with the Seattles, I was with guys like Tyler Lockett. He's been there for 10 years. Doug Baldwin, who would probably be a Ring of Honor guy for the Seattle. Jermaine Curse, a guy that goes into, you know, the playoff stretches and just, you know, does whatever it takes to just make unbelievable plays for his teams to get him to the Super Bowl. My guy Paul Richardson, who is this amazing, incredible wide receiver that was drafted second round by them. So I was there with guys. One thing that Seattle told me when I got drafted on the phone call, when they told me they were drafting me, it was like, we didn't draft you because we needed you. We drafted you because you were the best guy on the board, and we knew you would come in and light a fire under our vets so that they don't get complacent.
Wow. Yeah. It's that saying, though, if I knew then what I know now, you know, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I mean. You kind of have to live a little bit.
Yeah, live a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. When you, so the BC Lions call, you at some point you got to just make that decision to come up to Canada. And it's weird how that works out, eh? Because Coach O'Shea talked, you know, even earlier this month about, you know, coaching staffs make mistakes in training camp. And here the BC Lions say, okay, thanks for coming out, Kenny. And then you end up here, which is kind of amazing how that turns out.
Ever.
Same, you know, like later that year, you're a Blue Bomber. But how did you, what made you decide to come up to the CFL, first of all?
The CFL was one I knew I wasn't going to get a shot in the NFL right now. And my agent was like, you know what, maybe it's time we go try out the CFL just to stay relevant. You know, I love football so much that, you know, I still want to play, even though I can't play for the NFL. What's the next best place to play? It was like, CFL. What's the CFL? Canadian Football League. All right, tell them I'm ready. You know, I'm going to start working and everything. And, BC Lions was like, you know what, we got you on the neg list. You're going to come up here. All right, bet. We're coming up here. I'm working out. Well, thinking I'm working out, right? But I didn't know what to expect, right? I didn't know we was going to do so much running in camp. And, man, it was just so much running, double days, power practices, right? I don't know what year this is for you in the CFL, but the training camps are probably one of the hardest training camps that I've been through. And I didn't prepare myself good enough. I went into BC's camp and blew my hamstring, you know, tore it. And it was a 2.5. At 3, I would have needed surgery. Oh, wow. And I was just able to rehab for about 2 months. Then, you know, I start with all the other NFL free agents that I'm working out with. We started doing one-on-ones and everything. Like, I was so hungry at that time for another opportunity in the CFL because I knew I messed up my CFL opportunity with the BC Lions because I wasn't conditioned enough. I was conditioned, but I wasn't conditioned enough. Right. I was conditioned for NFL camp. I wasn't conditioned for CFL wide receiver running. Yeah. And you know what? I was like, I bet next time I get that opportunity, I'm not gonna mess it up, right? Because I already messed up so many opportunities in my life. I wasn't gonna mess this next opportunity that I was going to get. And sure enough, you know, I'm doing my one-on-ones with NFL guys, and I'm recording them. I'm sending them to, you know, the BC Lions because that's the only team that I know. I'm like, yo, man, I'm ready. Bring me up. And they were like, you know, we're gonna wait for a little bit longer. I'm like, man, you know, I don't know. I was gonna say a bad word and everything, but you know, I'm like, whatever. Yeah. And then my agent hits me, is just like, hey, you know, Winnipeg called and they want to get you up for player expansion. Sign me up. We're going. I'm like, I don't mess with BC anyways. They keep just, you know, blowing smoke. I just, you know, I want to get somewhere that I'm going to be able to have a new first impression. And, man, when I got here, it was just like, okay, this is what I wanted. First day, you know, practice. The defense and the offense is fired up. They're just going at it. My first day was September 15th, 2018, and it was Fan Appreciation Day. I thought I wanted number 4 because it was my college number. They sat me right next to Big Hill. Imagine that, right? Big Hill over here signing babies. Yeah. But one thing I told, I was like, you know what? I ain't getting 4. You know what? We're gonna make whatever works. Yeah. But one thing that I told Big Hill was just like, man, the love, the respect, just the way the fans treat you. One day that's gonna be me.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a honor the fans, you know, and I'm gonna honor the game, and I'm gonna honor the city just as much as you do. And you know, I'm gonna work for it. And I forgot that story, but Big Hill, we were doing a little what was it, a banquet for the Bozier Comets one night, and he told me the story again, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that, man. Young Kenny Lawler, you know, having a moment with you first time. You didn't know who the hell I was either, but you know, I'm like, one day I'm gonna be just like you, Big Hill.
That's cool.
And sure enough, you know, it's funny how, you know, God works and how time goes. You know, slowly but surely, I'm still getting there. I want to say I'm up there with Big Hill yet, but you know, I'm trying to get there.
Well, we'll get to some more fan questions in a sec. I just want to wrap up this kind of chunk here because, I remember when you got here, you know, you kind of flashed on that practice roster expansion, and then 2019, you lead the team in receiving, win a Grey Cup. 2020, the lost season. I know that you worked out a lot with your dad because you always talked about how you attacked at that.
Yeah, those was
And then 2021, you went crazy.
Yes, sir.
And but you've had your ups and downs here too. But man, you got the fire. I can just sitting here with you. You know, when you get back, you're going to be roaring to go, aren't you?
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna be. You know, missed a lot of football, obviously, and whenever I do get back, it's just gonna be just, you know, just back where I left off. You know, just not taking any play for granted. You know, every play is that play, you know, that number one play, the only play that matters, every play. And I just want to get back and just honor the city, honor my teammates, honor my coaches, honor this organization, and just really just, you know, do what I know I'm capable of.
Yeah. Man, you seem like you're in a good space mentally because, you know, I know you do a lot of stuff in the off season with the camps and stuff. You mentioned the Bozier Comets, and I know that you've had camps in Quebec too, right?
Oh, well, I was going to do one.
Where are you going?
Yeah, one of my person that was helping me with that, his daughter got really sick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that you do a
But
lot
back
of stuff.
home, we did one back
yeah.
home in my
Right.
at my high school.
Yeah, you give a lot back, and you're really committed to this town and this team. So that's really cool, Kenny. We got some more questions, Josh. We're getting
Yep,
here.
sure
We're already.
do. We gotta have to-
We could have done 2 hours
We
here.
could have done 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably on the mic too long. Y'all probably
No,
No,
it's,
no way,
it's great
no way.
stuff. Great stuff, Kenny.
We gotta get Kenny over for his little birthday celebration tonight, though. You know.
Oh yeah!
Speaking of which,
Shout
come
out to
on.
my wife. Got the reservations. I don't know where, but you're gonna be eating good.
Okay.
So someone had asked before, "What are you doing for your birthday?"
Well, you know, we did a lot of working out today. Probably got about 3 workouts in. Now did this. I scheduled this and forgot it was totally my birthday. So you know, we're gonna do this.
So we're holding you up.
Nah. I want to say, man, this is great. This is great. Thank y'all for having me again.
Okay.
And then wife's got reservations. I don't know where.
That's a surprise.
It's a surprise,
Right on.
man. But maybe we find another favorite restaurant
look at that.
in
Right on.
Winnipeg.
There you go.
Eric wants to know who your favorite character on Game of Thrones is.
Ooh, favorite character on Game of Thrones. It would have to be. Oh man, King of the North,
Yeah.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Jon Snow, but his dad, his father.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot his name.
Ed,
Ned Stark.
Ned
Stark,
his
yeah.
father.
yeah.
Right on.
Sean Bean is the actor.
Famous
I
for
never
getting
knew that.
Yeah.
Sean Bean for everyone on.
There you go. Yeah.
a little bit of trivia. Ed
Like
Tate
I said,
trivia.
I'm
Ed
just saying.
Tait Trivia,
I'm
let's
wondering-
go. Sponsored by Ed Tait Trivia.
Useless trivia.
That's a good question. This is from Aaron, and they want to know, after healing from an injury, do you play differently when you come back? Are you more cautious, or what's going through your head coming out of an injury?
Oh yeah, man, that's a great question. Shout out Aaron. Shout out Aaron. Great question. The thing is about football, when you come back from injury, my collarbone was the first real big time injury that I had, and I always get asked this question. But you got to be fearless, man. I tell people, if I was to do it again, try to go lay the hammer on the guy like how I was doing. I'll do it again. That's just how I play. But the thing is, though, you got to learn. You got to learn. Obviously, I probably could have done something to avoid this injury, as far as maybe a jump cut, a juke, get out of bounds, right? So I know moving forward, I'm always going to now think about, how can I get to the next play with being as physical as, just being as physical as I can be, because I believe I'm a physical guy. I like being physical. I like just.
It's got to be a hard thing to balance because, you want to, every play matters. And yet you also, there is another play.
There is.
And you want to be on the field for that next play too.
Right.
That's a hard thing when you play as hard as you do. Yeah.
And I just say, man, you got to be fearless. You got to go out there and not think about it, because when it do think about it, that's when it comes.
Okay. Good question.
Great question. This next one is from Jordan, and they want to know if you have a favorite touchdown as a Bomber.
Oh, Jordan, favorite touchdown, shout out, Jordan. But favorite touchdown as a Bomber, man. There's a lot. There's a couple. Favorite.
I got one. While you're thinking.
Yeah,
Ed's got a favorite Kenny touchdown.
The Edmonton comeback last year, the one-handed grab at the back of the end zone.
That's what everyone is expecting, right? But I know there's just like, some memorable moments. I had some like more memorable like catches or like blocks, or like, when it comes to the
What comes to mind for a catch then?
Catch was 2021 West Final. It was against Sass, right? And he kind of threw like a ball behind me, and I go back and catch the ball and take a hit in like negative 35-degree weather when like 30 kilometers per hour wind. And it was just like to kind of like, I felt like that catch right there was like what got the team just like, then Darvin made another catch after that, like that diving catch. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just like having 5 turnovers in the first half, that, having a catch that kind of like got some momentum, like that was my favorite catch. Touchdown though, I'll say my first touchdown.
Okay.
First touchdown, week 5, 2019 against Ottawa, I believe.
So Matt Nichols would have thrown it?
Matt Nichols still be my first one. And it's just, it's that first career touchdown.
One, sure.
54-yarder, remember to this day, broke 4 tackles, 5 tackles into the end zone, celebrate with Lucky. DJ Nugget right there in the stands, a little 12-year-old dude. He's now 18. Shout out DJ Nugget. And
that's vivid memory, man.
Man, bro, you don't forget the first one, man. You don't forget the first one.
That's a great question too.
I love that catch in the West Final. That was one of the best shots I ever got early in my career, with the snow going around, and then you spun the ball after. That was a wicked catch.
Oh, thank you.
JKN wants this. He says, Kenny, did you teach Strevy how to run those routes out there on the field?
Oh man, Strevy. I actually came in here and Strevy was like, probably like they'll do like some. We always had trick plays with Strev, right? And we had this one trick play when I first came in, like Strev, he does something. I'm not gonna tell it. He does something, and then like he just shot down the field, and it was like a one-on-one deep ball. And they threw it, and Strev went up there, mossed the guy, comes up. Strev gets a lot of energy after he makes. And nah, man, I didn't teach Strev nothing about the receiver game. He had it on lock already, man. So, I'll give him little pointers here. But, Strev an athlete.
He was running a lot of routes at the end of the last game, unfortunately, because the guy's going down. But yeah,
he's an athlete, man. Strev got it. Strev got it.
I'm just scrolling through here. I saw some. Oh, we got another question here. Monica wants to know how teaching young players helps you get better.
Oh,
good question. Too.
Great question. Teaching young players, one, it just keeps me focused. When I have to coach young players, I got to come with the plan. And when I have the plan, one thing I believe when I coaches is I got to be able to show the guys. And when I'm actually showing the guys how it's done, it locks me more into the fundamentals, right? I'm not just going out there and doing something and I might be lackadaisical with it or miss something. I got to teach these guys the ins and the outs of everything when it comes to wide receiver. Start, stance, to the finish, the top of the route, different catches, just everything. So when I come up with a plan, I'm reteaching myself and revisiting all the points that sometimes I don't think about, but through muscle memory and just me just being a football player over the course of 25 years, it just happens just naturally, instinctively, right? But when I go there and coach these guys, I'm able to just revisit some things that maybe I needed to work on a little bit more.
That's a great answer to a good question. I coached basketball for 12 years, and if you're teaching kids how to do a layup, but you've done it naturally for your whole life, you forget, well, wait, I just do it. How do I now teach it? Because it's just, I don't even think about it. So it's really cool how you say it brings you back to the fundamentals. Great question again.
Great question.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
Great answer. As I'm scrolling through here, we got man, the whole family's hanging out in chat here.
I didn't even know this was
Thanks
being
for bumping up
promoted.
the numbers for
Hey,
me.
let's
We got Perry Lawler hanging out.
Oh, wow, that is my sister. She is
I forgot to ask you about your brother. He's playing corner at Montana, right?
corner in Montana. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Okay. Carrick?
Kenzel.
Sorry.
Kenzel Lawler. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Kenzel.
Haven't seen that pop up in chat yet, but I scroll a little further, and then we got an Alvin Lawler hanging out.
Hey,
here,
that's my
too.
cousin.
Okay,
I
the
call
He's
him
really
Lawlers are
pumping up the
helping-
numbers from California here.
Let's go.
It's
Hey,
awesome.
man. Hey, the family ties. Let's go. I love
Right on.
y'all. Thank y'all.
And then we're gonna end off on one more here. Last call for questions, and but while we're waiting for that to roll in, we'll see. Someone wants to know what you thought of the talent level when you came up to the CFL after playing in the NFL for a couple years. I always like
I like
hearing
that question,
perspective
too.
on this
Yeah.
question.
I'll break that question down. What I thought the talent level was going to be before getting to the CFL was part of the reason why I wasn't going as hard in my off season or doing what I'm used to, because I didn't know there was going to be that much talent in the CFL when I got here. And like, there's unbelievable talent up here. And the thing is, guys got to adapt coming up here to a whole different game too. So that just might make them a little bit even more talented, because not a lot of people can adapt to something that they're so used to. And being on a 100-yard field, 53 width, there's so much more that we have to be able to learn and be able to adjust to. And we don't get a lot of time too. It's like, you got to pick it up pretty fast. So, my biggest thing about the talent level is, I was kind of shocked. I was kind of just like eye-opened on how much, good players are up here, because I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard of the CFL and it's like, I'm about to go up to the CFL, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm about to come up here and kill this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And every athlete should have that mentality, because that's just the confidence that you should have as a player within your, in yourself. But I was going at more so on like the arrogant side of this, more so the confidence side, because I wasn't matching my work with, my mentality and my mindset. And, guys come up here all the time, man, and think they're going to just kill it and just, basically young Kenny Lawler's come up here every time. Yeah, with that mindset.
That's what we were talking
and
about
they get
earlier.
humbled every time.
Yeah, it's what we were talking about earlier, though, even back to your days at Seattle. Sometimes you got to live a little bit to understand, okay, and you've had the chance to kind of regroup, refocus, and look at it differently. That's cool.
I'd say a lot of these guys could be playing in the NFL right now. It's more so just about the opportunity, the situation they were in, and then when you come up here and actually make it and you're able to be one of those players, it's just like, why have to go back down to the NFL and worry about that stress when I've actually been here, established something, and one of my goals is being a Ring of Honor guy here. So like, I can't do that by being down there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm 30.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah,
30
man.
today.
30 today. Let's go. Thank you, Mama.
What a great way to close off the show. I'll pass it off to Ed and we'll close out the show here.
Well, listen, Kenny, like I said earlier, I can feel your fire, man. You're still, you want to get back, and when you're back, you're going to kill it. I know you are.
Killing it.
Can't thank you enough for doing this today. Appreciate
thank you.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
birthday.
Much love, Ed. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for everybody for joining us. Don't forget, every Tuesday at 3 on the Blue Bombers YouTube page. This is The Huddle. This was episode 11. Next week will be episode 12.
Let's get it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell, right,
Like,
Josh?
subscribe, do it all, baby.
You got anything for the people, Kenny, before we close
Hey,
it out?
All
any-
the Lawler clan out there.
Hey, to the family, love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all didn't even hit me up and let me know y'all was gonna be tuning in on anything. So this is totally a surprise to me. So thank you again. I love you. Thank you for all the questions, everybody. Thank you, Winnipeg, for just having just such tremendous love for me, for my family, helping me get through some times. And man, just to everybody out there, we're gonna get this thing going. We're gonna get it turned around, and man, it's going to be a surprising season because we got a lot of fight left in it. So, man, I can't wait to see y'all, and much love from Kenny Lawler.
Right on.